Hi everyone, my name is Matt, also known as UKAstroNut, and today I'm going to be going through your physics and your astrophysics news for this week. So on my handy dandy whiteboard here, I have 4 main stories I'm going to go through. The first one is Cosmologists team up. Now this is 2 cosmology surveys, the BICEP 2 and the Planck survey. Now cosmology is trying to look at how the universe is formed, the history of the universe, and all the sort of fine details of the universe. And these 2 teams, one of the things they're looking for is something called evidence of inflation. So inflation was when the universe was really, really young. Suddenly, we think that it expanded very, very quickly in a very, very small amount of time. And that explains a lot of our theories, but we need to see if we can actually find evidence for it. So these 2 teams are trying to look for that. Now, BICEP 2 thinks it has found evidence for it, but the problem is they're not quite sure of the results, because the results can also be explained by some of the dust that's in our own galaxy. And so what they're trying to do is combine their data with the Planck data, which is the other team, and then see if they can eliminate this dust, or if they find that it is the dust. They're just trying to solve the problem. But I think it's pretty good that actually 2 rival teams are managing to join together to try and, well, for the sake of science. The second news point is that unique exoplanet's been found. Now exoplanets are planets that orbit around other stars other than our own sun. Now we've seen exoplanets around binary stars. These are 2 stars that go around each other, they orbit around each other. So unlike our star, our sun, we think it goes on its own, but actually a lot of stars go around in binaries, they go around in pairs. This exoplanet is unique because it's been found that in this binary star system, the exoplanet actually goes around one of the stars, which is quite strange, because you think it'd be very hard for a planet to stay stable in a system in which there are 2 stars trying to pull on it, and to have formed in this system as well. But actually turns out they just seem to be okay, which gives some new hints on how exoplanets and planets in general can be formed. Third is that Gaia data has been delayed. So Gaia is a ESA mission which is going to map the position of 1 billion stars in our own galaxy, which is only actually about 1%. Apart from the positions, it's also going to get their distances and where they're moving, how fast, what direction. Now the problem is with, since the launch they found 3 problems on Gaia. The first thing is something called stray light. So this is extra light which is managing to sneak into the telescope, and it's sort of sneaking around the back of some of the sort of the sun shields which stop the light from the sun. And this is going to cause some problems with the detection of some of the fainter stars that Gaia's going to see. Secondly, it's only when they realised when they got to vacuum space, so the vacuum means there's no air or anything in space, that they found there's some water inside the spacecraft, and this was probably left over from when they were building it or from the launch or something like this back here on Earth. That can cause a little bit of problems. Finally, they found there's a lot of ice on the actual telescope itself, a bit more than they expected. So these 2 things have just meant that getting the data is going to be a bit harder for Gaia, and they have to do a bit more tweaking to sort of clean it all up and make sure they get good data. So it just means the data isn't going to come out for a bit longer, so about 2016. Finally, the last one is that NASA just launched a spacecraft which is going to hunt down carbon dioxide in our own atmosphere around the Earth. Now carbon dioxide is released when we breathe. We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide, and also in things like factories and power plants and cars and things like this. And it's been a lot of build-up of carbon dioxide as we've done more and more industry, more cars, more factories and stuff. And around half of this carbon dioxide is taken into the atmosphere, and then half of it is absorbed by things like water, by the sea, and also by land. We think is taken into the soil or by trees and things, but we don't really know. So hopefully this mission will find out where all this CO2 is going and where all the main focuses of carbon dioxide are in our own atmosphere. So that's your physics news for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.